Hell yeah! Good afternoon, guys. It's another video with the Burnout truck. Today we are going to start the Cateye conversion, or at least get parts off of the truck to start the Cateye conversion. So if you guys have been sticking with the build and you're up to date, you know that we just bought this 01 round body, got the 4-point grade out of it, building the 5.3 for it. Well, Austin's going and getting the 5.3 by the time the video goes up, but it'll be the next day for when we're actually filming this. But today we're going to start the Cateye conversion. Going to be a 2-part deal. I don't have the parts for it, so part 2 might be a few weeks to a month down the road. But today we're taking off everything that's necessary to get it to where we can swap the Cateye parts. And those parts are the 2 front fenders, the entire front end, the grill, the bumper. We even have to cut the bumper mounts off. We have to weld new ones on. And I'll show you guys once we get this off. There's the bracketry that holds the headlights in, and the grill and stuff like that has to be changed as well. Obviously got to get a new hood too. It sounds really complicated, but it's really not a bunch of pieces. It's something that we can go to like a Pick and Save, a scrapyard, something like that, and pull them off of a potentially a wrecked Cateye if one's hitting the side of the back or whatever. So that's why it might take a couple weeks for us to get all the parts. But we're going to go ahead and get started today on pulling all the parts off, and it's going to really look like a bare bones stripped down truck. And once we get all this done, we're actually going to start pulling some stuff off the rear. The spare tire needs to come out, the rear bumper needs to come off, the tow hitch needs to come off. None of that is necessary for a Burnout. We're actually going to put a roll pan on it, so the step bumper's going goodbye. Basically stripping it down to as bare bones as we need to start going back up. And plus, not having everything on the front of the truck might make it a little bit nicer to put the 5.3 back in, get up closer to it, and work on it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if you see these brackets here, those are for, and I'm going to show you the difference. Thankfully, we have a stripped down Cateye to show. We actually have to cut these brackets off the frame rail, because if you see, they're different on a Cateye. And it's kind of cool that they're facing each other so you can see what all is different. But all of this right through here, this plastic piece where all the headlights and stuff bolt into, it's totally different on the Cateye. So all that, we've got to get these, we've got to cut these off of the Cateye. Like really cut the frame off the wrecked one. Up front, because this is also where the grill mounts into, we shouldn't have to get anything for the grill. Just buying the plastic piece will take care of the headlights and the grill. Frame pieces for the front bumper. The hood will latch. The hood will bolt up just fine and latch with the latch assembly with no extra modification. The last 2 pieces are the left and right fender. Y'all look at that right there. Hey, that's an off-road truck. Look at that. Got the splash pan. Shoo! Ain't nothing gonna come through that. All right, so we'll recap because we've been flying through it. We got Leroy truck over here on this side. The fender's still on that side. You guys picked the easy one to start with. That's gonna be the hard one.
Yeah, I know.
Because you've got the fuse box on it and all that other crap.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. But if you guys look up in here, I mean, you'd be amazed that fender is a part of it's like the whole apron and everything on this truck. So it all comes out, fender liner and all, when you pull it. So you're left with nothing. So what I'm working on while Austin's working on that is I'm pulling the brackets off for the headlights, like I said. And once he gets that fender off like that, that's about it for the front end. And we'll push it further forward and try to work on the stuff on the rear.
Yo,
all right. I wanted to know what it felt like in the passenger seat because I'm probably never going to be sitting in it. But I better come over here and help out Austin on this because he's over here all alone working. I see where you've got a couple that need to get up here.
Yeah.
You got a couple too up here that need to be got.
I almost got this side pulled off. This fuse box is probably the most difficult thing. I think I got 2 more bolts left and this whole entire fender is going to come out. Make sure you disconnect the windshield washer reservoir before you do this.
Hey, there we go.
We don't need windshield washer.
Well, we ain't gonna need it.
That's where we're going.
I'll mess up the bracket for the hood. We need that. Everything else will go by. Take it outside. Well. So, this looks a lot cooler than I had originally anticipated because it's got the whole Leroy truck going because it's got no front fenders. And it's so, this is going to be super nice when we go to put the 5.3 into it because we're not going to put the fenders or anything else on it before we drop the motor in. Imagine working on it with no fenders. I can't even imagine. Like being able to swap it in here and not have all this garbage in the way is going to be awesome. And then we'll put the fenders on after we pull the motor, after we put the motor in and all that. That's going to make it super nice to work on. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to push the truck forward so we can get behind it. And once we get it up here, I'll show you guys what all we're going to take off the back. All right, so the things that are coming off back here. We don't need a tow hitch, but while reason I've got it jacked up, I'm going to go ahead and pull the bumper first. It'll be easier for me to get to all the bolts with the tow hitch. The spare tire needs to come down. Obviously, we don't need a spare tire. So we're getting rid of all the unnecessary weight on the rear of the truck. Obviously, we want it as light on the rear as possible to do a burnout. You know, of course, you can take the bed off of it and keep it super light, but we want the truck to be full body. So we're actually going to put a roll pan on it. I'll just buy a cheap one off of eBay. Won't spend a lot of money since we're going to hit walls and stuff like that. But we'll put a roll pan on it and we'll eliminate all of this. So that's going to be the next step, is pulling this bumper off and the hitch and the spare tire. That's got to come off. All right, there's the hitch. Oh my gosh, that thing's freaking heavy. Feel that? That's probably 20 pounds.
That's a wimpy hitch there.
Well, yeah, compared to the diesels.
Yeah.
Diesels. Well, that's some of the weight off. Now let me see if I can get the bumper off.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
Hey! Alright, so got the rear bumper off now, which took a minute, and my Milwaukee died, that's why it took a minute. But these brackets come off too, that's a part of the tow hitch. So I got to get those off, but now I got to get the spare tire, which now that we've got the bumper off, I can see up into the winch. I might be able to actually take a tool and get it done this time. Things, for any of you guys who have felt the steel wheel spares, they are really heavy for what they are. And then also made a comment because did y'all watch it raise up when the tire hit the ground? I mean, it makes a significant difference over the weight. And you got to think that weight is all the way to the rear, so it has a maximum effect on the height of the truck and then weight over the axle.
Now the rear is like,
but shit, dang, look at the tread on that thing. I bet you that thing will smoke for a minute. Well, we're going to figure out what tires we want to do for Cletus and cars. I don't think we're going to do something that skinny. We'll try to find at least a 10 wide or a 12 wide. But there's that, and we might be able to go ahead and I can probably buzz the exhaust off. All right, everybody, so we're going to have us a little class about horse torques here. There is one basic fundamental about making horsepower. Cut the big freaking trash can of a muffler off your truck, because all it's doing is killing the power. But in all reality, so the EPA nowadays wants all the chambers and crazy stuff for the emissions and the sound and stuff like that. What you're doing, you can look at an engine as a giant air pump. The more air you get in, potentially more air than you got to mix it with fuel, the more power you can make. It's why you have forced induction vehicles. Now, the engine has to get the air out. If the air doesn't come out of it, then you end up with a bunch of back pressure, and it could potentially, you know, kill your power, hurt the motor, stuff like that. Same thing applies to turbos. With a smaller back housing, could build up too much back pressure depending on the engine size, so you go to a bigger back housing. Same science applies to the exhaust. If you restrict it, you can also hurt your horsepower, and that's why people, you know, talk about gaining 10, 15 horsepower out of dual exhaust, because you get rid of that factory one pipe, wide pipe in the muffler and stuff like that. But we're doing the long tubes and straight pipes when we go back up, and I'm getting ready to pull the cats and everything out of it too. We won't have catalytic converters this go around on it. Alright guys, so that is step one of, well, the Cateye conversion plus just continuing the project on the Burnout truck of getting rid of the weight on the rear and stuff like that. The next thing is this weekend, while I'm out of town, I actually have to work this weekend. Austin's going to take care of getting the new 5.3 for this truck. So next week we will film the videos of tearing that 5.3 down. Hopefully parts start coming in next week for it. We'll start putting parts in it, and that's about it. I mean, we're kind of at that point on the Burnout truck where it is what it is till there's an engine ready to go in it. I'm excited to put the engine in it without the body pad. I've never done that. You know, I've always had to fight around fenders and
take this off.
Well, I think there's a lot hooked to that. We'd probably have to go a little further with it.
It's probably not worth it.
It's probably not. But either way, it looks cool. It looks like a Leroy truck. You know, we just want to take the rest of the panels off. Just full Leroy truck. So I appreciate you guys watching, and there is now a playlist on the channel that is for the Burnout truck if you want to follow the whole build. So you can go over to the channel, look at the playlist if you missed some videos or you missed something about it. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys are still entertained with it, and we're hoping to do something great with it and hoping that it turns out really, really cool. You got anything to add?
Nope, not today.
We're tired.
Yeah.
We've been non-stop on this truck since Saturday. We bought it Saturday, engine come out Sunday, and we've worked on it every day since.
And we both have full-time jobs on top of this, so we get off work and then we come straight down here and work to give content to y'all.
Yeah, I know. I go into work, we get off work at 5, and we come down here, and you know, at time. I mean, it's 10 o'clock right now, and we still got to go back home, which is 20 minutes, and. It's late nights, but it's worth it. I mean, it's not like we're in a massive time crunch to finish it. We just want to. We just want to get it done, and we're motivated to do it, so we might as well do it now.
I think we're as excited to see this thing done as you guys are. I mean, we can't wait to just be ripping it. I know y'all will enjoy watching it, but just stay tuned to the channel.
With that being said, take care. Have a great day.